Hello, hello. We were playing more Hades.
Back in the barnyard.
Finished a run at the end of last video. How many completions do we have now?
4, I think.
4? Okay, okay.
I mean, you want 10, to see the whole kind of main story there.
And now it is just calling you a weakling for some reason. I actually
Yeah.
have no idea what this mechanic is or what that means.
Well, it's just Hades. He just gives you little messages sometimes about what he thinks about you.
Oh, weakling.
My idiot chud son.
Bro, you just lost last time.
He hates his chud son.
Would you rather have, what's this guy's name again? Zendaya?
Zagreus? Zendaya is the...
Moving past it, Zagreus' son or Dusa daughter? No comment? Okay, so you're using the shield, which you just upgraded, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's exciting.
And I just got a special for it, which kind of sucks so bad I almost just want to restart.
What? Alright, you know what? I think that's legit.
Your progress in the house will be lost.
Because,
Yeah, just put me back here. It's fine.
there's always the additional element of roguelikes, the meta time management strategy of knowing when to abandon runs. I like this game making abandoning runs pretty easy, pretty quick. Just right back in there.
I think for higher heats, it's like very important to just kind of like, oh, I didn't get something especially good to start with, whatever. Like you can kind of make anything. You can make anything work on like no heat, but I just don't
Yeah, I mean, why fight uphill?
deal with shield special, especially on like a shield aspect that has like nothing good about the special. Like it's just useless.
Oh, you proc Poseidon again.
Yeah, I might just give it to me again. Yeah, this is just that's just what the RNG is. Okay, well,
It's because you
I'll just go fuck myself, I guess.
started the run in the exact number of frames that you did last time. So you're on the actual exact same seed. Possible? I don't think that's how it works.
I don't think it's frames. I think it's probably just like something else. But
Nah, I would really be surprised if this game used like the Pokemon style RNG.
that would be a little absurd, possibly.
And it would also make speedrunning this game an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, this is
Nobody
like
likes
a
that.
pretty healthy speedrun community, so I can't imagine it's that sort of dog shit.
Yeah, it was actually... I've been looking at speedrun.com a lot lately. I have bursts where I go through and just look up a bunch of games and try to get a feel for, you know, who's good, who's bad, who's popping off, what are the rules, what are the different categories, what kind of meme categories are blowing up.
Get a feel for who's bad at the speedrun.
Yeah, you scroll to the bottom of the list and go look at these losers.
And I start tweeting at that guy and go, "You're a fucking bum. You will never get We Play all platinum medals world record."
I mean, most people won't.
That was crazy. We watched
Yeah,
that last night.
That's a hellish speedrun.
That guy, I thought he was just gonna like give up on being alive.
That's a
He
brain
was
melter.
upset.
The entire run, he's like unhappy.
The entire run,
And
he
he's
just
like
keeps being
dreading other things.
every time he gets through, he's like, "Okay, we can still just lose all this time. I'm in hell. I'm trying not to get too attached to anything. I don't want to get upset."
I'm
It's
gonna
like,
I'm
oh
gonna
my
lose
God.
in ping pong. I know I'm gonna lose in ping pong. I'm not even mad. I'm just gonna lose in ping pong. And then he doesn't lose in ping pong.
But then he's just like impose me, and he's still suffering. And it's the last one.
It's like the entire run is just suffering. Because a lot of speedruns, it's like you watch, you know, the veteran runners do it, and they're like, "Oh, this is the slog part. This is the hell. I can't wait to get through this." And then we're like on easy street.
Yeah.
And this one, it was just all hard street. It was subsequently harder and harder streets, it seemed like.
Yeah, you're just having a bad time, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, the We Play speedrun scene is pretty cool. But yeah, why was I saying this? Oh yeah, because I was looking at speedrun.com and I saw there was a ton of Hades runs.
Yeah.
People love speedrunning this game.
I mean, it's a cool speed run, especially when you have like all the stuff upgraded and whatever, and you can just kind of like go for crazy shit.
Yeah, then you're just kind of like a god, right?
Yeah.
You get like that PoE type build, and you're just murdering everything. No, that has a lot of appeal to me. Have you ever thought about actually trying to time yourself? Like, it tracks your fastest completion,
Yeah.
so I imagine
It
it's
tracks
like
your
kind of
fastest
easy to...
completion, and there's like heat
that.
that is just like you have so many minutes to complete each floor,
Oh, that's interesting.
which is like one of the easiest ones to do. Because like
Hmm.
I don't know, as long as you don't suck. Like the first level of it is like 9 minutes per floor, which is
Oh
like
yeah, that's super easy.
more than enough time.
Yeah.
So yeah, no one ever really thought about tracking, I guess.
Has there ever been any game you've been tempted to be like, I'm actually gonna try the speedrun?
I tried to speedrun Celeste a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good one for another very popular speed game. Seems very like non-suffering, like you're just playing the game you enjoy, and there's no one part of it that's just like, oh, great, now it's a 50-50 whether my run dies, or like,
Yeah.
now I have to just like wait. You got spiked, bro.
Yeah. Silly of me.
I have a friend who was actually pretty successful at speedrunning Celeste. I'm sure you can guess who. It's gotta be Chloe.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
I think Chloe was like around top 20 at one point when she was really grinding it.
That's
But that was
pretty crazy.
that was like more around when the game came out, so the meta has probably advanced a lot.
Probably. That's still pretty crazy, though.
Yeah, it's pretty
No, he's
nuts.
stuck in there. He's gonna move out.
Oh yeah, this is annoying.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
This is where the speedrun falls apart! Oh, nice,
Oh, okay.
nice.
Nice. We
Made
got
it
him on
work.
like some weird seam.
That felt
Sure,
like
man.
a RuneScape type interaction. I remember when I first finished Mario Wonder, I had like a strong impulse to speedrun it. Because I just enjoyed playing it so much, and I enjoyed just recreationally trying to get through random levels really quickly. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna record myself doing the speedrun, and then I just like never got a chance, never did it.
I don't know. Speedrunning is kind of like a really fast way to make you hate a game.
Yeah, probably.
Like, I don't know. I still like Celeste, but I was just like, this isn't fun. It's the same, like, I don't know. It's way more fun just like with Kingdom Hearts 2.
Uh-huh.
The greatest action RPG ever
Okay. Interesting to say that while playing an action RPG, but go on.
made. This one can be good. It's just not the best one ever.
Yeah, but then our fans are gonna be like, why aren't you playing the best one ever? We're gonna get the water flame comment that says, well, why are you playing a sub-best action RPG?
This is still like top 10 all time or something.
Oh, wow.
That's
Okay,
good,
okay. Yeah, yeah.
What was I saying? It's fun to learn like small strats. It's fun to learn small time saves and things that make like stuff you find tedious in a casual playthrough a little faster.
I can agree with that, yeah. That's kind of cool. Or like in a platformer, just kind of learning movement tricks. And then you can just pull them off.
Yeah.
And see if you can do it in certain spots, and it's like satisfying.
It's not worth going all in.
All right,
There's
so
people who do that. You watch them.
Yeah, you observe it from a distance. Did you ever watch the video of the guy who turned out to be a Nazi in GoldenEye speedrunning, R. White Goose?
Oh yeah, that was a pretty big. issue.
That's kind of sad because I thought he made some interesting videos. Not about his beliefs, but about the history of speedrunning and stuff. But there's this one clip from his Twitch stream. I'm pretty sure this is him at least, where he suddenly has this like profound moment of self-awareness after his like GoldenEye individual level run dies after having really good RNG at the start, where he just talks for like 5 minutes about how speedrunning is the most degenerate act ever invented by man, and that there is no way to waste your life worse than speedrunning, and like many other things on this theme, and it's just like pouring out of him. Like suddenly he just like
He's just like suffering so hard.
loses all of the motivation in his life. I don't know. I remember it got passed around a lot, or when it happened, and people were like, "This guy just has depression." But it's kind of like, I don't think he's like more correct about speedrunning than anything else. But I think you got to be careful with like any sort of obsessive hobby. Not even that like it's necessarily bad for you, but that you might deep down be feeling like that and just like stuffing it down. And I think, you know, you can genuinely get a good enjoyment out of stuff and take it a healthy level of seriously.
Yeah.
Like, it can be all good, but you got to make sure it is actually all good, and you're not just like
I think that
tricking
was
yourself.
him. I remember that being a pretty famous clip. I also remember like one of those like popular like speedrun cringe GDQ is cuck now guys was like really good friends with him. I think maybe that guy like also killed himself.
Oh god.
And everyone was just like, well,
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. When you're depressed, one of the more common like coping mechanisms, I guess, is to obsess and to like hyperfixate on something. It gives you a feeling of like control and meaning in your life. But if that's why you're doing it, it's probably not going to work long term.
yeah.
Someday the cracks will show. The weird one with RY Goose is that he said all of that, and then he just kept on speedrunning, and he just makes speedrun like documentaries and stuff now, and like. It's like, what?
It's because he's just like, this
Just
is all I
kidding?
know. This is all I know.
Yeah, it's no good, man. Do you know that guy actually appears on Nirvana the band, the show?
Really?
Yeah, do you remember the episode where they enter a GoldenEye speedrunning tournament at ANC Games?
Oh god,
Yeah, he's there.
Jesus, that's crazy.
And he was just there for the actual tournament that they were actually running, but they, you know, they put them in the show, as they often do. That's nuts.
That's wild.
So that's a nice little confluence of speedrunner lore and Toronto lore and cult comedy lore. Yeah, I don't know. It's a heavy subject. Not worth dwelling on. What did you think of Summer Games Fest?
Oh, yeah, it was not as bad as I expected.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we had, you can pull up a list of everything they showed if
Oh,
you want to
okay,
like,
yeah.
really run it down.
Let me go through and mention games that I can like remember. And then you can offer commentary on ones that you thought were interesting. Lego Horizon Adventures, I actually thought it looked pretty cool.
I thought it looked cute, yeah.
I was very impressed with how much it looked like actual plastic Lego running around. I didn't realize they were like so good at that. Like, I knew the movies looked like that, but I didn't know video games could look like that.
Video games have looked like that since they first were making Lego games.
No, they didn't look that good.
I guess not.
I think the lighting and stuff is better. At any rate, it was kind of neat. No More Room in Hell, that was the one that just kind of looked like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, that one, I remember that game being very popular when I was like, maybe even in middle school. So
Oh,
it came out
wow.
in like 2011, right? Like, that was kind of a hotness way back then, especially when zombie stuff was still cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks kind of like an oddly timed sequel, but whatever.
Well,
That's how the video game industry works. They've probably been working on it for 10 years, but because game production is so hellish, it's probably just got reset like 80 times. Alright, Harry Potter Quidditch Champions.
that looked like a fucking
It
mobile
looked
game.
like a mobile game. It looked terrible. And it's like, how do you make a game out of it? It's like almost its place in the books was that it was ridiculous and made no sense as a competitive game.
I mean, like, I don't know. On some level, I'm like, of all the things they could make in a Harry Potter game, like just having a thing where you play Quidditch and it's just like dedicated Quidditch system seems cool. Because it's like, I don't know, like the rules
It's like
of
a
it all,
game.
the rules of it all make sense.
Sort of, but they're like stupid.
Okay, yeah, but you
Because
just
all
say
that
about,
matters
like, any
is
sport.
well, all that matters is finding the snitch,
yeah,
right?
You just like that's the like win column, but I
Yeah.
mean that's just like, oh, all that matters is punching the guy in the jaw. You have to
Well,
do it.
But wait, maybe I just don't remember Quidditch as well as I ought to. I don't know if I ought to
Quidditch
at all.
is similar to boxing. If you knock the guy out, then it's over and you just win. But also, like, you have to do that, so you still want to rack up points. Because what if you just can't do that?
But then, if you can't do that, then that means the other guy did that.
No.
No. It only ends when the seeker catches the snitch.
It only ends when the seeker
Yes.
catches... Oh,
I'm
well,
almost positive on that.
I don't know, just
And,
don't be
and
a
here I'm
pussy.
exposing my actual pretty deep memory of things in the Harry Potter books that I read. But I'm sure that rule will change.
They'll probably have
for the video
They
game.
will probably add like a timed segment. Also,
Yeah.
this run is like so bad.
Quidditch. Yeah, because there's a scene where they're talking about how at the Quidditch World Cup one year it lasted like 2 weeks. 'Cause
Oh
nobody caught
yeah.
the snitch.
Okay, well I don't know. Just don't be bad then.
I don't know. It's like,
Real high level Quidditch, they always be getting the snitch, cuz.
yeah, because you get like 1 point for throwing the ball through the hoop, and you get 150 points
Yeah.
for catching the snitch.
Yeah, you get 150 points and end the game. So you're basically always gonna win. But what if they score more than you? Then you have to wait to catch it.
I suppose, but 100 that takes like forever. The scores
Well,
would be
clearly
like
they're long games.
uh
I'm pro Quidditch.
alright.
I'm also pro shaking. Heel turn.
Well, my feeling is either A, they're gonna change the rules a lot, which is totally fair.
I think definitely they will.
'Cause
Yeah,
the rules
'cause-
were just made for a children's book series
Because
as
it's
a
supposed
way.
to be like, oh, this is this crazy wizard game.
Yeah, and it's like it's supposed to be like wacky and make no sense. And this idea that really only Harry matters because he's the one that's the seeker. So I think either they're gonna change the rules a lot, or just because it's called Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, champions to me indicates, even though it's not a mobile game, indicates that it's mostly about like rolling characters, team management, and the gameplay is like very, very secondary.
I mean, that just wouldn't be. I don't know.
I don't think that would be surprising.
It just
at all.
looks like something that will be heavily monetized with how like
Yes.
plastic, toy-like everything looks.
And the fact that they made sure to show all of the like main dudes in the trailer. I don't know if you remember,
Yeah.
but like half those people don't even play Quidditch.
No, everyone they showed played Quidditch.
Did Hermione play Quidditch?
Oh, okay, Hermione.
Yeah,
Uh,
Ron was
so-
on the team.
Ron was on the team, and the twins were on the team too.
Oh yeah, the twins
So
were on
4
the
out of
team.
5.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
They were iconically beaters. They
Yeah,
beat their
that's
meat.
right. Yeah, to me that really signals, unlock all your friends.
Yeah.
Spend $3 to roll a random character.
God, I just rolled ultra rare Cho Chang.
Oh my God, Cho Chang! Asian wizard Cho Chang is on my team. Okay, then there is Cuff Burst. Do you remember this one? It was the one where it's like cartoony characters breaking out of prison, and then they like
Oh.
smoke weed and swore and
Oh,
stuff.
that looked like shit.
It looks like absolute dog water. I think basically they looked at Escape from Tarkov, which is this like really intense tactical game that my friend Slug plays. Slug is like super into that game, and it's like insane how deep that game is, and it's like really, really hard. And I think they had the thought of probably a lot of these people just want to play a game where you bust out of prison, so let's make the exact opposite game aesthetically and in terms of challenge and stuff, and see if we can scoop up some of that audience. So, it is what it is. Star Wars Outlaws, I do not remember anything about this.
It's like apparently the first open world Star Wars game, which I thought Jedi Fallen Order was, but I guess since that's like Souls-like, it's like considered open zone.
I don't like them using the word zone. That's a sacred word for me.
Why?
Various reasons.
Well, because you love the zone from Newgrounds? Like, get a life.
No. There's the major section of Gravity's Rainbow is called In the Zone.
There's also the zone
There's
from
the
Stalker.
zone from Stalker.
There's the zone on YTV.
There's
that
the
showed
book.
us all our favorite cartoons.
Well, yeah, that's an important one too. There's the book Temporary Autonomous Zone.
Do you know
by Hakeem
Carlos?
Bey.
Do you remember Carlos from the zone?
Yeah.
Did you know he's just like a reporter on Entertainment Tonight now? He's just
Really?
like a gossip guy.
Oh well, I mean, good for him. That
Yeah,
seems like
I mean, he did the zone for like 20 years.
the
It's
sort of
just, like,
transition you'd want to make.
it's just funny, like the avenues you have in Canadian media.
Yeah. You level up to ET. Anyways, yeah, I have a strong fondness for the word zone because of all of these things and more. And I think the literary device of a zone is like very, very interesting and compelling. And it bugs me when video games use it. They haven't earned it.
That's stupid as fuck. It's just a word.
It is what it is, okay? Also, Atlanta Zone 6 Gucci Mane, another one. I can think of them all day, but it won't.
The zone is sacred,
take me a little
except for
while.
like these 12 things that use the word zone that I like. 'Cause
Well,
it's
yeah,
literally
because
just
I
a
like
fucking
them.
word.
Because I like them, and they all convey a similar thing. It's like there's like a shared literary quality to all of these zones that is compelling to me. It's all formalized in the temporarily autonomous zone. He talks at length about what a zone is to him. But my standard caveat when I recommend this book, it's a very, very cool book. He has a lot of neat ideas. He's also a pedophile. And he occasionally will make reference to like, and on top of this, what is deemed pornographic by the government will no longer stand in our new free society. And it's just like, oh, don't get into that, brother.
It's really cool. It was like back to back. In the last episode, we talked about the Unabomber Manifesto.
The temporary autonomous zone had like actually a fairly mainstream publication, despite having all of these strange references to pornography and censorship and stuff. Because it's just a very interesting history of zones.
They're not letting me be a pedophile due to woke. Sad.
Anyways, Star Wars Outlaws, I do not recognize you as a zone. I don't remember anything about the trailer.
You play as like a bounty hunter or something. It looked boring. It's gonna be like probably just like a Ubisoft open world game. So
Yay!
I think Ubisoft is making it. I don't know.
Yeah,
the studio.
Ubisoft's huge Star Wars game.
Yeah. So
Alright.
like it's just gonna it is what it is.
It is what it is.
If you're a Star Wars fan, you know.
Demand more. Demand better.
I
Get them to reopen the Star Wars hotel, but do it right this time.
Don't get them to reopen the Star Wars hotel.
Alright, Neva. Do you remember this one?
No.
This was by the creators of Grease.
Oh, that looked
2D.
cool with
It
the
actually
deer.
does look kind of neat, yeah.
You were like, the deer's gonna die. It's
I
getting
am
old.
so sure the deer is gonna die because it got old during the trailer. And I feel like the arc is gonna be that it gets old. And then either it dies or it has to like ascend to some spiritual plane or something.
Well, it seems like it's becoming godlike. It gets
Yeah.
very big and has big antlers and is in this kind of like megafauna.
It looks
area.
sweet, for sure. I love the look of it. But that motherfucker's gonna die. Civilization 7
Yeah,
looked neat.
that'll be cool.
I mean, the trailer was cool, but I wish they had shown even like one screenshot.
Well, they said they have
So
like
that
an
I can-
upcoming gameplay showcase.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like later this week.
Yeah, sometime
think.
this month at least.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, I don't know. I don't understand, like, what they could be changing from Civ 6.
Yeah, it feels like Civ 5 was pretty experimental, but then Civ 6 kind of just like locked in.
Yeah.
And was like, well, we figured it out now. And people seem
mean,
very happy with it, so.
It, like, got good after DLC, like, every Civ game.
Yeah.
So, I'll play Civ 7 in, like, 2 years.
I
don't know.
For me, Boomer Take, the high point is still Civ 4. Civ 4 even though I think like Hex Grid is better and they upgraded various things and
I'm
balance
more
it
of a-
and blah blah
more of
blah.
a Hex Grid Andy. I never really got that into Civ 4.
Civ 4 just, I don't know, just something about the aesthetics of it and the music and it's because I played it as a kid, but you know, it hit for me. Alright, here's a banger. Metaphor ReFantazio.
Yeah, that one looks
That looks
sweet.
absolutely so cool.
I think we're making
Job
weird,
system, baby.
weird medieval Persona, but we got the job system also.
We love the job system. Any game with the job system, I'm gushing. And they did it in the way that I like too, where you can like level up different jobs in parallel.
Yeah.
And can, like cross over skills and stuff, you know. It's a lot of things you can grind at. That's what I wanted in a JRPG.
My only hesitation is just like they're gonna make Metaphor ReFantazio the real version in like 2 years after.
Yeah, probably.
Cause I already just feel like so cheated that I haven't even played my copy of SMT5 yet, and they're already releasing like this is the new good version. It's like I guess I should just go trade that in and get the new good version. Like
that's how it always goes. And you're the ideal target because you want to do that, and you're not just like, eh.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I would want to play the definitive version. Why wouldn't I?
Like I played original Persona 5 and had a good time, and the Royal was also a good time. I guess that also was like in 2 different phases of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm in the post phase now.
It's better when there's a gap, yeah. You can kind of come at it as a new person rather than just play them like back to back.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, I guess I'm back in first year. Yeah, this seems like a banger.
But yeah, it looks cool.
Batman Arkham Shadow.
That looks so funny.
VR Batman.
The Rat King.
The Rat King. It like, I feel, obviously I'm very disconnected from like the VR space. It just doesn't really appeal to me very much. And I don't know why I would ever be like excited about a VR game. But like, it just seems like such a huge risk. That you've got this franchise, everybody likes these Batman Arkham games, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty acclaimed.
Yeah.
And they look like crazy, I'd imagine. They have like really amazing next-gen graphics or whatever. And you're doing all sorts of crazy Batman stuff. And then they're like, here's a new one. The graphics are way worse.
Okay, but
it looks like a PS3 game.
Batman.
And you're just going like, whoa. Well, the webcam's on, not on, so you can't see, but you're just throwing like clumsy punches. And like shaky arm is aiming the grappling gun until a little yellow thing gets highlighted.
Yeah, but like the entire novelty for people is just like, I'm throwing punches as Batman.
I mean,
it doesn't matter that it's like people like Dragon Ball Z Connect.
Yeah, like I know it has its fans, and I know for the fans, like this is what they want to see. I just imagine like somebody who's into the Batman games but hasn't been sold on VR sees this. And they're like, what a waste of fucking time. Like,
it just feels weird.
Give me a game I want to play.
They already ended the Arkham games, and moreover, like, I don't know, it's like odd seeing Arkham Batman voiced by not Kevin Conroy.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing, that he was like retiring from the role.
Well, he just died. He was not retiring from the role, he just died of like cancer.
Oh shit, okay. Oh, so then they were like saying, oh, we're gonna retire the character.
No, they just had already, Arkham Knight was the last one, and that was it.
Oh, okay. Alright. Well, I know nothing. I just kind of vaguely remember reading about the series ending or something.
Yeah, it just ended because it ended.
And now he's back. In VR form.
Fighting the Rat King.
And there's a Smashing Pumpkins cover in the trailer.
Yeah, there's no.
They're never gonna stop doing that.
The spine on the ring, I'm still just the Arkham Rat King.
I think oh my god, I never even clued in that it's literally a rat in a cage.
Yeah.
That's so on the nose.
That was the whole joke of it.
I think the reason this like works, this like trailer technique, is because people have like a flash where they recognize the song, maybe like 5 or 6 seconds in, and then that's like a positive feeling, and then they hope to associate that positive feeling with feeling positively about the trailer as a whole.
It doesn't work on us because we recognize the song and get really mad.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, they're doing this again.
Why not do the thing?
That's my guess.
I guess because like it's just the pun. It's like they already have a popular song associated with Batman now because they used Something in the Way for the Matt Reeves Batman movie. And everyone liked that. It was cool.
Yeah, it's like it can be done in very specific kind of ways, and with only a very specific subset of music, where you're kind of like, oh, that's like a deep cut. That's kind of interesting that they went for that. and not just like they chat GPT'd popular song with rat in title.
Yeah, I don't know. It just reminds me of it was years ago now when that weird like Peter Pan movie, live action Peter Pan movie came out in like 2016 or something, and it just had like a bunch of people on a boat doing a cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh, I remember that.
And I was like, what the
That was
fuck is
weird.
this? What are you guys doing?
That was very, very odd. They were singing it in that like British children's choir voice.
Yeah.
It was so gross. For me, it was. Do you remember the Magic set War of the Spark?
Yeah.
They released like a cinematic trailer for it that had like an orchestral cover of Linkin Park's "In the End," and I remember. And I should have really listened to this feeling because it was true. I remember thinking, like, I am not at all in the Magic target anymore.
I feel like War of
They
the
do
Spark.
not care about me.
War of the Spark really was like the nexus point of people just being like, I fucking give up.
I think it was. Like, there's a few of them, but War of the Spark was, like, I think the biggest one.
Well, I think between like just having this like all Planeswalker set where most of them suck.
Most of them suck, and then a
like,
few of them
aren't
are
very good,
the
and
most
then a few of them are
annoying,
just, like,
horrible
complete-
cards ever.
A few of them just completely ruin all formats for a while, and then like on top of that, just like for people, because there are freaks out there who are still invested for the lore, and then all the lore books they made just like completely spit in the face of everything that had already been established.
Yeah.
Great.
Definitely, like, the worst reception to a Magic story ever.
Well, that's what happens when you're
And
like,
that's
this
saying a
character's
lot.
a lesbian, and then you go, she's
Nah,
not.
she was just confused. No,
A lot of people think that's pretty gross.
The fallout from that book was, like, monumental. Like, it
Yeah.
stopped them from releasing books ever again.
Yeah, it made them give up on lore as an idea, and now they just make like, what if everyone was in the Wild West?
Yeah. Nah, it's... But the In the End cover, that should have tipped me off. Alright. This one, I actually thought looked kind of cool. Tears of Metal. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah, that was like the co-op hack and slash roguelike. I don't know.
Yeah.
Multiplayer game, I don't care.
It's co-op, but it doesn't seem like it's essentially co-op. Like,
Yeah, it's like probably
it
they
didn't,
can
like,
play
focus
as
on
co-op.
co-op.
It's like Magicka or something. I don't know.
I like the aesthetics.
I thought it looked ugly.
I'm still into like the low poly. Low poly still like tickles me, and I have to continue supporting roguelikes as a genre, just because this is the only time in recent memory, like since I was a little kid, where like the popular genre is one that I actually like to play and learn about and stuff. So even though we saw like 8 roguelikes being announced, I still got to be like team roguelike. So yeah, I don't know. I thought it looked neat. I like that it was like Scottish. It seemed fun. This one I do not remember at all. Oh no, I do remember. Delta Forest Hawk Ops.
Oh yeah, the Black Hawk Down game.
I only remember it because they were like, play through the events of the movie Black Hawk Down. And it's just like, what the fuck?
It's weird. I don't know.
They just don't understand.
Like, we're obviously not the target audience for this stuff, but it just feels so bizarre to me to imagine someone in the current year being really excited for, like, a military shooter that ties into, like, a
movie
2012
from-
Oscar movie.
Oh, 2000. It's older than that.
Oh, yeah, it's like 2006, isn't it?
I think it's like the 90s. 2001.
2001,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Or Zero Dark 30, I think, was
Zero Dark 30.
2012.
I was just thinking, are they gonna make like Zero Dark 30 the FPS? Like, do they genuinely not understand these movies, or is
Well-
it just like a cynical like, well, this is a popular name?
Well, these movies are not exactly, like, anti-American War Machine either.
Well, no.
These are movies
I
that are
guess
mostly
not.
like feel bad for soldiers being forced to do horrible things by this chocolate menace.
I mean, that's true, but they are still very much like feel bad movies, right?
Yeah,
like,
but like I get
it's
like,
all
this-
about just like the agony of.
the game itself just appeals to people who are like shooting guns is badass.
Well, yeah. This is what I just can't reconcile is like, And kind of like, where's the line? Like, is there any movie, like, is there gonna be like a come and see FPS?
Bro.
Is the light up the barn? I don't know. It's just so weird to me.
I feel like Come and See they wouldn't make just because that movie also involves like child rape. Like,
I mean, like, I don't know if Black Hawk Down does specifically, but like, a lot of these American war movies, as just kind of a very cynical, oh, we're showing the whole story or whatever, will be like, look at the horrible things that are happening to civilians. And like, I think American Sniper has some of this rhetoric, and American Sniper is obviously like an extremely jingoistic, like rah-rah American movie.
yeah, well, American Sniper is also made about like a habitual liar.
Yeah. Like, they're always trying to talk out of both sides of their mouth. And it's just kind of interesting to see video games, I don't know, not even seemingly like knowingly adopt this, but just sort of like unwittingly regurgitate it.
I don't know. I feel like
as a ploy to just get name recognition.
I would be interested to know where they get their funding from.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like obviously a lot
know.
of those movies get their funding from like the American military and like
Yep.
the CIA and stuff. They're
Yep.
like, oh, you can use our jets, bro. But just like, we'll send in one of our experts to make sure you're kind of getting the real story. And the real story is mysteriously always like, well, those fucking foreign people had it coming.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't about the oil actually, but like, you know, we wanted it also.
And we just kind of coincidentally ended up having it. You know,
I mean,
control of all these major oil fields.
We made sure we got it, but we were kind of liberating these people from tyranny.
Oh man, yeah, looks terrible. And then, like you said, yeah, the gameplay is just like, who wants this anymore? It's the same game.
I mean, it's like
what's new?
the audience is like still there for it, but it's just such a like, how do I put it? I don't know. It's like
Food.
those people are not like in the mainstream anymore. Like there was a time where
Yeah.
mainstream gaming was
But that was
built around
the
like
genre.
shooters and military, yada yada. And now
Call of Duty era.
now everything is a game about being like a lesbian on a farm
Or a roguelike.
or a roguelike.
Let's go, baby! Okay, Fatal Fury, Cry of the City of the Wolves. Seems fine.
Oh yeah, there's like a new
There's a
Fatal
new Fatal Fury.
on top of them just putting SNK characters in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, so I guess that was like a fake out. That they showed like Terry first. And probably it had been like rumored that there was a new Fatal Fury, or maybe they'd even like announced that it would be shown.
And then it was like Terry, Mai, and Elena in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So I don't know, that's like odd.
yeah, it's a little strange.
I don't know why they think it's like a good idea to fake people out. At least they like delivered later. Do you remember the time where they were like, and we have Final Fantasy VII news? And everybody in the audience started like going nuts. And Jeff Keighley had to be like, oh wait, no, sorry, hold on. And it was just like the mobile game.
No, yeah, like Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they gotta be pretty careful about this stuff. People can sour.
People love the remake games. They're excited for it. You can't fuck with them like that. Like,
Uh-huh. You gotta know what people think things mean. Okay, and then the Blumhouse games.
that was
thingy.
funny. I feel like if I would play all of them if they were free, just to see.
Yeah. I don't know. Some of them I was a little curious about. Like some
It's
of the aesthetics
definitely-
looked interesting.
One of them is gonna be good. Out of the like 10 they announced, because it's Blumhouse.
No
much like
more.
the real movies.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how they make movies too, right?
It's just
They
like
just
one
spit
of
out,
these
like,
has to be decent.
10 a year, and then a couple of them are decent. Maybe one of them's even like quite good. It's like interesting because I mostly hear about Blumhouse on like Red Letter Media, where that's like their opinion basically. Like, and they just keep watching them because I don't know, maybe it'll be good.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's just like horror in general.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of something seems neat, and you're like, well, I might as well check it out because if it's good, then it's good, and if it's not, then it's like I don't know. A bad horror movie is far easier to sit through than like a bad drama or something.
No, that's very true. Yeah, it's appealing on like another level if it's bad on its intended level.
A moment's rest.
It very quickly just becomes like comedy. I don't know. It's interesting too that there was 2 announcements of fairly major kind of studios saying, "Hey, we're gonna pour a bunch of money into like indie titles."
Yeah.
And then there was like a 3rd one that didn't happen during the show. Can't sell stuff.
I was trying to save up money. No, the sell pool is a different pool.
It's a different pool. You can't multi-pool. Yeah, there's another one that Ludwig of Off-Brand Games, Off-Brand Media or whatever, is now expanding into Off-Brand Games.
And also they're a worker co-op.
And they're a worker co-op too, and all the games are going to be cooperatively owned, which is really, really cool.
Well, also the Among Us studio.
Is also a co-op?
No, but they're also funding a bunch of indie games.
Oh
remember?
yeah, sorry, I meant to mention that.
3.
Yeah, 3 in one day were announced. It's very interesting to me that this is sort of like we're not seeing like there is indie studio programs from like Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo and stuff, but they didn't like this is like operating on like a different level from these like mid-sized studios. You
Well,
know?
the Microsoft ones especially are like so predatory.
Yeah, the Microsoft one is like the whole thing of getting Hi-Fi Rush funded and like championing it, and then just laying off the entire studio.
That wasn't an indie studio; it was Tango.
Oh, true. But yeah, I don't know. It seems
It's
like,
just in general,
bad.
it's like there's no reason to trust Microsoft to do right by you at all.
Yeah.
Like people, I don't know. It's a
historically
really
evil
weird,
company.
like it feels astroturf, just the way people talk, because people always give Sony a lot of shit, and like obviously monopolization from anyone is bad. But like Microsoft is so like nakedly evil all the time, and people are just like, oh, Game Pass, my deals.
It's like Microsoft's been evil since the 80s too. Like people should know this by now. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting that like
Microsoft has a way worse track record of like completely horribly mismanaging studios until they're like shells of their former selves. And like, why wouldn't they be doing that to indies when they did it to like fucking Arcane?
Yeah,
They were
they
like,
did it to Rare.
Sorry, you need to make a live service looter shooter. I know you're really good at like immersive sims, but just like completely change your studio philosophy because like we need to please shareholders.
We want that.
We
'Cause
want
other people have it.
all other people have it, and if it's successful, it's a money printer. So like, you get to gamble with your lives.
Yeah.
We have decided.
It's so absurd. It's just like the height of nativity of like.
Why would you?
Well, there's
want,
like 80 of these games. So ours, the 81st game, that one is gonna work. That
'cause
one
we
is
can
the one that's
learn
gonna make
from
$1 billion.
everyone And it's not like, you know,
And we'll just throw any studio at it.
we could just have this like
That's step
guaranteed
one.
consistent profit from like a studio whose games are always well received within their fan base, always sell really well. Like they're not gonna be like some smash hit, but like they're gonna make money
Yeah.
because they're like the
There's
only
a-
major dev doing that sort of stuff. And then it's
Yeah.
like, but have you considered
A looter shooter.
if we gamble, like maybe we'll make $0 and have to like put, you know, hundreds of thousands of people out of work. But on the other hand, we could make infinite money yet again. And people are like, Phil Spencer's kind of like, you know, a real businessman. He's kind of like,
He's a real businessman.
he's lifted up Xbox a lot. Because I mean, like, Game Pass is really successful. Look at how many ads they pay for to tell you about what's on Game Pass. It's like losing money hand over fist, and it's not really like onboarding that many people consistently beyond like, you know, signing up to play something you're kind of interested in for cheap. But like, you know,
I never thought about this, but Game Pass really is trying to aim for like the disrupt and worsen model, right?
Yeah.
Like, they want
the streaming
everyone to
pie.
think we might as well.
They
get
want
on
the
Game
Netflix
Pass.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like, the issue is that it's fucking Microsoft, and they have no games. Like, it's actually... Like, the meme is, like, PS5 has no games. And, like, fair, like, they're having... Just because of how fucking long development takes,
Yeah,
there's, like, a chance a AAA game is announced, and then it's just, like, not a thing you're interested in.
yeah.
I think that's, like... I get it. But, like...
But I literally don't
X-
know what games are on the
Xbox,
Xbox.
like, actually has no games. Fucking, like, Gears of War...
Are they still making those?
They made...
There was a new Gears of War. I didn't even
There
know
was
that.
Gears of War 5, like, fucking 6 years ago or something, but, like, this is what I mean, like, they don't, like, their most recent big thing was, like, Halo Infinite, probably, and that
Oh, but that was
like
like a
total
major
bomb.
flop. Yeah.
No one liked that.
I have like a lot of friends that are like diehard Halo players, and all of them hated it.
It's crazy.
Like, how do you fuck that up so bad? Oh, because it's got to be a live service game. I bet you loot too.
No.
I bet you get the what did I say yesterday? About the freaking grunt amulet.
So you get the grunt amulet, you need to get the legendary grunt amulet, you have to grind for it.
Gotta kill like 800,000 grunts. Get the legendary grunt amulet.
Well, it's like, there's nothing wrong with just like, oh, we have like content updates and seasons and whatever. Like, that keeps people engaged, but like, just the gameplay isn't fun.
I mean, Halo 3 had that. Halo 2 even had that. They would have map packs that came out like every, you know, few months or so, and that was hype. That was all you needed, and then you like rotate the playlists.
I mean, people kind of hated map packs too, though. Like, it's a microtransaction, just put it in the base game.
Oh man, that's true. That's like kind of crazy to think about now.
Yeah,
because they were like $10, and nowadays that's just like a great deal.
Nowadays it was just like $10 and the maps stay permanently and don't like rotate out constantly.
Yeah,
you would be really happy.
Yeah, nowadays it's like $10 probably per map, and you only get to play it during that week.
I'm astonished that we made it to Hades on this. But
alright, let's go.
Good.
How many death defies do you have left?
1.
Okay, it's possible.
I had used 4. I had like lost 2 and then fully replenished them with Patroclus and then lost them on fucking Theseus and Asterios.
Alright, good luck, good luck, good luck.
This is just not happening. That's
Shall
fine.
I keep telling you about
No, let's
games?
just keep talking about it. Like, it doesn't matter. It's
Alright,
fine.
this one I thought actually looked pretty sweet. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind.
Yeah, it's cool.
Remember that? I just really like the graphical
played
style.
a lot of the SNES Power Rangers beat 'em up game on emulators as a kid.
What I was impressed by most is that they had like really jank looking 3D sections.
Yeah.
And they like made them as jank as they would have been back in the 90s, but like also kind of
Still 4 humans.
yeah, like I don't know, it was neat. It was like a nice blend of kind of like doing stuff that is actually very modern while not losing like the charm and novelty and ambition of the old games. So yeah, I was happy with that. Deer and Boy.
Oh, yeah, there's another.
The deer's gonna die.
Oh yeah, the first one was a dog. I said.
The first one was dog with deer antlers. This one is just a deer. But the deer got older during the trailer. It's gonna die. You're like doing kinda okay damage to him. But, oof. Yeah, I don't know. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I don't remember anything about this. This is like another long gap sequel, right? Like the first one is really old.
I was not really old, but it was like probably like 6 or 7 years ago now.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about it.
Just had a lot of weird controversy. Once again, it's like the people, they haven't done anything explicitly wrong, but it's just that thing where like it's like, okay, yeah, I guess those people in Bohemia, there wouldn't have been like black people or whatever, but they just like really weirdly like kept bringing up like how historically accurate it was.
Ooh, that's like a
And
dog whistle, yeah.
Being like Eastern European on top of that is
yeah,
just like
yeah,
big
that's
sussy.
that's I don't like that.
But like people who are history nerds are like, but it just is accurate, so I don't know. Like, it could also just be autistic. Like,
well, that's just this. It's kind of like a dog whistle that has ruined something that actually used to be kind of interesting to think about. At least, is people that aimed for maximum historical accuracy, more like mechanically, right? Like, I don't know if you remember this old game Mountain Blade.
yeah.
I remember there was like a big focus that it's like, oh, this is how sword combat actually went. It was like weighty, and you couldn't just go like, you know? And like that kind of accuracy, it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I can see why that would appeal to somebody. But now, if you hear somebody ranting about historical accuracy, it means like, no woke.
Yeah.
No black people. The women stay in the kitchen. It's all ruined by the culture war. Slitterhead. This is like the Silent Hill guys.
Oh yeah, it looked like pretty bad, but I was still like, this is kind of awesome.
Well, what surprised me, and this is in the screenshot here as well, is that you like you messed up dudes and shot guns and it looked like kind of a power fantasy type game, which is like the exact opposite of Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Silent Hill is like a zero power fantasy game.
It has aesthetics.
The aesthetic, I mean, yeah, like the aesthetics are cool. I was just very surprised. Karen is the rock climbing game.
Oh yeah, Karen.
Karen,
Not Karen.
Oh, yeah, the I is not where I thought it was.
Minor dyslexia moment.
It's okay, you know, got a little localized dyslexia. Alright, this one I'm a little curious about is Wanderstop. This is the new game by the Stanley Parable people, where it's like a warrior who longs to fight in the arena, now just works at like a tea shop, and it seems to be another like cozy core, do your farm and do your chores.
Get chorin', bud.
To get some chorin' done. But then, you know, both the trailer and then Jeff Keighley afterwards were like, but there's gonna be a twist. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. I wonder what the twist is.
Maybe I want to know about the twist.
Maybe I want to see what that is. Because I feel like we're prime now for, like, there's so many very sincere popular genres, and probably the most sincere one is like the cozy farming sim game.
Yeah.
You know? Where they're just trying to kind of like out cozy each other. So it feels ripe for some like parody and subversion and stuff, you know? I think what would be fun is if the mechanics get like parodied and subverted.
Oh, yeah.
That, you know, you're tilling your fields, but then maybe you do go on some like killing spree, and now you're like fertilizing the field with like the blood of your enemies or whatever. I don't know. Something along these lines, somewhere.
Could be good.
It's still the same gameplay mechanics, but the theming gets more and more subversive and weird. I don't remember this one at all. I think I was chopping vegetables. Unknown 9 Awakening.
Oh, yeah. I kind of... Can you, like, show me the screenshot?
A grand adventure in a Middle Eastern fantasy setting.
Yeah, I don't know. That looked like nothing.
Okay. This one I also left no impression on me.
Oh, yeah, this looked like it was some sort of Souls-like. It looked kind of cool. I was like, it's like very...
More Souls-likes.
Lies of P looking. But it was just a cinematic trailer, so who knows. But it was like, fight this guy, and then I ripped his mask off. But now I'm wearing it, and all his soldiers belong to me.
Oh, okay. That's kind of interesting. The First Descent.
This should work.
Oh, it's a looter shooter.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, that one, Jeff Keighley was very excited to announce a new looter shooter.
Wow. It might fill the Destiny-sized hole in your heart.
No.
What? Well, first off, isn't Destiny, like, still being made?
Yeah, they just, like, put out an expansion that was, like... This is actually funny. They just put out an expansion that was, like, the end to their big story arc.
Okay. Their War of the Spark.
Yeah, like their Endwalker, if you will.
Sure.
Olivia was telling me about it, because it was, like... She hasn't played it, but there was a big controversy, because their servers are just, like, were really bad.
Oh.
And then they changed the way the cutscenes work to, like, be attached to your connection to the server.
Oh, so the cutscene itself could lag?
Well, no, so what happens is that people get into a cutscene, and after a cutscene, it just, like, spits you out wherever, right?
Uh-huh.
But you'll have this, like, in the middle of the cutscene, you'll have, like, a server disconnect. So the cutscene will just sort of abruptly end, and you'll just be spit out in this new area.
That's really funny.
And you'll go, what?
And then everybody's, like, trying to kill you.
So everyone was just like, yeah, the pacing of the plot is really weird, and it's because they were, like...
Missing
Yes,
half
like,
cutscenes.
stuff would get cut off, or they would literally, like, miss entire cutscenes because the
Oh
server
my
disconnect
God.
would be happening while they were, like, in the loading screen.
Oh.
And then they would just load in somewhere completely different.
See, this is the other thing about this trend in the industry towards, oh, let's all gamble on the same genre of, like, always on, always connected, microtransaction, you know, continuous games or whatever they're called. Those are also the hardest games to make.
Yeah.
Those are the games where the most things can fuck up at any time. they like continuously change and update, which introduces so many opportunities for error.
Yep.
And they're just expecting like every studio to be making this sort of game for them. It's so fucked. Alright, great. Looter shooter. Outer Sloth, the Among Us studio
That was their
publishing
announcement
thing.
of their publishing stuff.
Could be cool.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. None of the games that they're talking about seem that appealing to me, but like, it's cool to be an indie studio at a smash hit and then do this.
Yeah, yeah. I want to be optimistic
The
about it.
woman on stage presenting it was very beautiful.
Oh yeah, she is. Yeah, she's in the screenshot here. Yeah, no, I don't know. I want to be open-minded and optimistic about it. Like, it seems like a good trend that all of these mid-sized studios are interested in doing this. I think it's just like Off-Brand set the bar so high by saying we are a co-op and everything we publish will be via a co-op.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
that's just so based.
that's like unprecedented.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I don't know, just for any studios at all, like, I think the co-op thing is like farther along this sort of road that I think will inevitably happen with the games industry, where like big money has dried up so much, or you just have to completely compromise what you want to do for it, that I think a lot more people are more willing to like try and put profits back into other games just to like
have anything.
have like any control at all and like have joy in their lives and get to
Yeah.
make something they want and not just become like, oh, you were bought by Activision, now you're a COD support studio.
No, that makes sense to me. It's gonna be a painful transition, but we'll probably be better for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all just like other stuff that is heralding. Like, I think a lot of people are seeing the signs that like we're on the way to another great gaming industry collapse.
Yep. I feel like Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't know. Obviously, it's hard to imagine it not selling like 1 billion copies, right?
Well, that's like, it's gonna have like the most pre-orders of anything ever.
For
I feel
sure.
Like,
But at the same time, it's like, it is also, like, if it's considered a disappointment, if it actually does not recoup, because like, you can't just think of it in terms of, oh, they spent X hundred millions of dollars to make it, and then it made Y hundred millions of dollars, which is higher. But they also spent all that time working on it and
Yeah.
not doing other stuff. And it's like, even if it is a success, they may internally still judge it as like a colossal waste of time and a huge disaster.
Yep.
And like, that's kind of not hard to imagine because they have spent like 10 years like spinning their wheels on the franchise. It feels like it might be the day of reckoning, you know?
well, they've just been farming money out of GTA Online for a decade.
triple!
Yes, so I had to do one heat, so I did the extreme measures for this fight, which just
Oh,
means
yeah.
everyone is here.
And you don't have to actually kill all 3 of them.
No,
2
you
of them
just-
are just like stage hazards, kind of.
Yeah, Meg is the only one we're actually fighting.
Right, right. Alright, good luck, good luck. Here's another game for you. Dune Awakening.
That one, Final Fantasy 14 is the only MMO in my life.
Yeah. But this one is a survival crafting MMO.
Oh wow,
Wow.
2 things I don't like. Cool. That's not true. I like Minecraft. That's it though.
It's like weird to me that survival crafting is like, you know, one of the big genres of the last 10 years. Probably still like the biggest genre in some ways. But whenever I look into any of these games, they're just like way less feature rich than Minecraft. Like they have nowhere near the like server support of Minecraft. They obviously have nowhere near like the mods of Minecraft.
Yeah,
And it's just like, why don't these people just play Minecraft? Like,
well,
what are they looking
Minecraft
for?
Came out at a perfect time where like no one was making these, and it was like unique. So
Mm-hmm.
then through all the betas, as they added stuff, like they get a lot of benefit of the doubt to like make this game good
Mm-hmm.
and like add stuff to it, and then fucking now everyone's just like, but we can just do that.
Yeah. You just make
But you
a
have to
Unity
be
project
that
and...
good at launch, or no one is gonna like it.
Well, yeah, it seems like all these games die really quickly, and that the community just kind of feels okay with playing one game, kind of doing like the gimmick of that game, getting bored, and being like, oh, well, on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the only one like post Minecraft that really did okay was like Rust.
Oh yeah,
And that was
yeah.
another one that like
Pretty
had
unique too.
a long tail. Like,
Yeah.
it was in early access for a really long time, and then it got like all the streamers on it. Like, and the space just isn't there anymore because there's so many, and people are getting paid to play so many of these.
Yeah, that's true. It just kind of seems like the best one can hope for is like Pal World, where everybody plays your game for like a week.
That's like not even a fucking real game.
And then
That's the craziest
and then
part.
it just like goes away.
That shit is for like subhumans. Like that's not a video game.
Oh, we'll get to it soon enough, I think.
Yeah, they announced a thing about
Talked
it.
about it.
I'm curious, JOI stage.
Terrible.
Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Okay, next game. Something I'm actually very interested in. The name isn't here. They left the name out.
Oh.
It was called like Top Guns or something.
Oh, it was like Battle Army, the RTS?
Yeah. So we watched this cool anime trailer, which actually was a pretty well done trailer. And then it was like, well, what the hell is that? It's probably like a mobile game where they spend all the money on the trailer, and then you like roll for playing waifus and play like a shitty JRPG. But no, it's actually a full-on RTS game. And I had mentioned this to my friend who's into RTSs, and he's like, yeah, this is legit. Like, the developer knows what he's doing. This guy, David Kim, I think. And they've been getting, like, StarCraft pros to do the beta test.
Yeah, they like Artosis.
Artosis has been speaking positively on it. And he is a miserable old fuck, so that actually means something. I don't know. It's, like, pretty amazing that they're actually trying to make an RTS. And they're aiming to make it more accessible based on this little blurb here that matches purposely take under 10 minutes, which is kind of interesting. And it's a little more accessible and stuff.
I think faster pace is definitely the way to go if you want to revive RTSs.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
also just because in general, people have worse attention spans.
Yeah, games in general, like it's kind of surprising that MOBAs are holding up as well as they are, given that they're still in the realm of like 30 minutes plus per game.
Yeah, but they still have like a built-in player base. Like RTSs would still be holding up if like all the money didn't dry up.
Yeah.
Even with like the struggles that esports are having, like MOBAs still
MOBAs
make you
are,
a decent living.
Well, because they just were the biggest to begin with, I think.
Yeah, and also
have
I think
fallen
just
the
like
least.
StarCraft getting really huge came before like you could be a pro at this and then like guaranteed get a big sizable streaming audience.
Yes, it was kind of like right on the edge, where there are StarCraft players that like blew up, but they kind of saw the sea change coming and usually transitioned into like MOBAs.
Yeah.
Or in Destiny's case, being the worst human being in the planet.
That Husky StarCraft guy who just became like manager for his horrible wife.
Wait, who is his wife? I remember Husky StarCraft.
What's her name? Like Rosanna Pansino. Like she used to do like a nerd cooking show, making all this stuff. But then just like every rumor about them since they kind of got big was just that they're like horrible to work with.
Oh God.
That like they're just this like obnoxious couple who is just like really annoying.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I think there was kind of a sea change.
Because I remember also they were like in with like sort of like Total Biscuit.
Oh yeah.
Sphere of people like Jesse Cox Dodger. Like I used to listen to those podcasts pretty religiously as like a teenager, and then it just came out that like they kind of just like got to move to LA to make a TV show and like hard ghosted everyone because they're like, we're kind of like fucking real now. We're not just like YouTube gamers.
Pulling the ladder up.
Which is also funny because it's like I feel like that is kind of fizzled out for them.
Well, I don't hear about them at all anymore. I haven't thought about Husky StarCraft in probably like 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really remarkable looking at kind of the death of the RTS era. Like, StarCraft 2, it used to be big, but then what big for a video game was just got like 10 times bigger.
Yeah.
And then StarCraft also got 10 times smaller. Like, and I think at that time, like, a lot changed in, like, streaming culture and competitive video game culture, and I don't know. But it's like, RTSs are so cool. I find them way more interesting than MOBAs. I think there is room to have a game that's actually fun and appealing and easy to learn, and still have, like, the skill ceiling of StarCraft, at least to some extent.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe this
the
game will be it.
macro stuff. I hope so. That would be pretty cool.
I feel like if it does well enough, they would just add like a mode where you can play like longer games.
Yeah, like add back the long macro element or something.
Yeah, there must be ways to tweak it. I don't know. I'm not a fucking game developer. I can't say for sure.
It makes sense to go in that direction though, you know? Start with something that can hook people in.
Yeah.
It's just,
I think if like the short gameplay is enough to like keep in sort of like pros and whatever, then they would just want to appeal to them more.
Because, like, you know, I liked playing StarCraft 2. I never got into Brood War too much. Because by the time I, like, learned about StarCraft 2 was coming out. And it's, like, fun, but it's also just so stressful because it takes so long. And, like, stuff like macro is just so inherently stressful, like, until you're good. But the elements that I liked and the elements that I wanted to get good at, you know, just like micro interactions and the strategy of it and scouting and stuff, like all of that can be standalone. All of that can be digestible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm quite excited.
It's all pretty like big time for the maniacs.
Yeah. All right. The final season 3. They're adding katanas.
Freaking epic, bro.
Wow. All right. Oh, you were excited about this, the Alan Wake 2 DLC.
Yeah.
It's like out immediately.
Alan Wake 2 is fucking awesome.
It seems pretty cool. I'd like to either play it or just watch you play it.
Yeah, you probably want to watch me play it.
Because the actual gameplay like doesn't really interest me, but the story and stuff. And the atmosphere.
Remedy is like a fucking awesome studio.
I didn't realize until you were telling me last night that all of their games are like in the same universe and stuff.
Yeah, they have like all this shared lore and like DNA. I don't know, it's cool. That's like the only time that's been really that cool in like a video game.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like because they're coming at it from more the like Lynchian mindset, where it's just sort of like weird, unsettling. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but you can tell me. Where it feels more just kind of like, if you know type stuff.
I mean, there's like pretty explicit stuff as well. But there is like, yeah, I don't know, it's like a good mix.
Yeah, but it's coming at it not to be like, whoa, remember?
Oh, yeah, it's not like the draw.
Master Chief is here.
The entire draw isn't just like, whoa, all the characters are here or whatever. But it is like, having everything be in the shared universe just lets them do a bunch of fun, trippy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of like the, Pinchin is really good for this too, where a character from another book will just suddenly show up, and if you've read the other book, now you're, like, kind of more confused than anything, because you're trying to figure out, like, what will actually carry over and what will be co-canon, and what is just sort of, like, a parallel universe or whatever, like, it just sort of makes the whole thing more kind of unnerving and unsettling, that your knowledge of other Pinchin can be kind of like abused and subverted in this way. Stuff like that I find really interesting. The new Skate game, which had the trailer with Tim Robinson.
Yeah, I mean that was it was funny just like watching Tim Robinson try to do his bits, but also give like a third of the commitment he normally does. Like, doing all these gimmicks, but then just doing, like, zero yelling, because you're like, it's just for a fucking video game, I'm not gonna tire myself.
Yeah, I didn't know how to read that, like...
I don't know. I mean, like, maybe it was just what he was going for, but with that sort of, like, celebrity video game crossover, it's always just the vibe of, like, this was a paycheck.
No.
Aisha Tyler's hosting the Ubisoft conference again.
Or the one we saw later for that mobile game that had, like...
Chris Hemsworth and Will Arnett. Ken Jeong. Yeah, that was weird.
It was like mildly funny.
They had some good jokes, yeah.
But they definitely were
bizarre.
like phoning it in. Just doing kind of goofy shtick and not giving their A game. Oh boy, major expansion coming to Pal World.
Yeah.
I can rant about Pal World at length, like... But it's not even like the game. The game to me is just a cash grab. And like, good on them. They grabbed the cash. Like, they flipped a bunch of assets.
Yeah, like extremely like cheap looking asset flip that marketed itself as like, oh, it's like Pokemon. And people were like, whoa!
It's Pokemon with guns!
It's my fucking dream game, Pokemon but with guns and you smoke weed.
Well, that's just it. Like, the game, the game is just whatever. It's exactly what you would think it is. But the response to it was like, it just migraine-inducing. The number of people that were like, well, this is gonna force Nintendo to shape up and make a good Pokemon game.
No.
It's like, what reality do you live in? What the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, this is the Pokemon game I've been dreaming for years. And it's like, really? This game with, like, no story, like, 3 different generic-looking regions, a gameplay loop that's, like, 2 minutes long, where you're just endlessly grinding to, like, build a base. It's just the same as every other survival crafter. This was your dream Pokemon game? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know, but we're like so disconnected from like what is appealing. Because like these
guess.
games do well because there are a lot of people who just want to like play a multiplayer game.
I
Which
mean,
is the thing
the
I
co-op
haven't-
thing people were really raving about.
That's the thing I haven't understood since I was like a teenager. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, playing games with other people is actually like not fun. I'd rather just play Final Fantasy by myself and then just talk about it and have a nice time chatting and then just be like, you fucking missed! I'm gonna kill you!
Get more resources, man. You've been slacking. Our base is looking like shit. The not Meganium is gonna show up and wreck shit because you were slacking.
What the fuck is that?
Well, it looks like Meganium, but it's not.
I
And then also the number of people that were like,
I was like furry brained. I was like, not?
oh no! That's what they need to add as DLC. That would make the game notable. That would make the game, like, actually be transgressive. Also, the number of people that were like, these aren't Pokemon ripoffs. When it's like, you can look at the models side by side, and they're literally the same. Like,
You don't understand. You
it's
don't
just
get it. You just don't
stitched
get it.
together from Pokemon models.
It's not Pokemon ripoffs.
It's
Them
so
are Digimon
blatant.
ripoffs. You don't get it.
And then people were like, well, Pokemon ripped off things too. Look at Dragon Quest. And it's like, you must have, like, bugs for brains. Like, I genuinely can't tell if anybody could be this stupid or they think this is, like, a good rhetorical argument.
Motherfuckers literally actually like other people.
It pissed me off, man. The whole wave of Power World discourse, I was, like, pissed off every day. Like, every day was some new bullshit.
It's very fun. I don't know. It just evoked like when people talk about like, well, you know, TNA or AEW being good is good for the whole business because it's gonna force WWE to step up their game. And it's like, no, it's not.
No, they're like 10 times bigger. They don't care.
They're 10 times bigger, and also like the fans of this are just like slop eaters. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to defend modern Pokemon games. I think they could be a lot better.
They're like pretty fucking bad, actually.
But
like,
the new Pokemon games, each new Pokemon games has like a million more new ideas than Pal World. Like, Scarlet and Violet legitimately added way more, like, new mechanics and ideas and new designs than Pal World did.
I mean,
So,
they
like,
were
what
all,
are they
like-
on about? They're
they were
not
all,
even
like,
playing
bad,
these games.
but, like,
they're bad, too. Yeah, they could be way, way better, for sure.
all their new ideas suck, but at least they are
But
new
they're
ideas.
like, actually new ideas. It's not just, like, acid flip. Oh, man. Oh, and then the Coke. And this is, I guess, most relevant to our actual discussion today. The number of people I saw saying, okay, well, it's just early access. Once they start adding to it and expanding on it, it's going to have, like, PvP. It's going to have trading. It's going to have, like, more dynamic battling. You know, all things that Pokemon has had the entire time. They've just been coping by saying, oh, give it a year and this is going to be, like, everything Pokemon is and more. And then they announced this big DLC, which is, you know, roughly a year after the game launched. This is going to be coming out. It doesn't have any of those things.
Okay, well,
It's just like one new region.
It's still in early access.
It's still in early access.
They haven't figured out that yet. They just figured out how to like do Thing Japan.
Oh, God. God damn it. Fucking Pal World. And then Valorant expansion.
Oh yeah, there's like a bunch of
Coming
just
to
like
console.
Valorant stuff, so it's just like
I
whatever.
don't care.
It's again multiplayer competitive
New-
game. Who gives a fuck?
New World getting an expansion. I forgot that game exists.
Oh, I don't even remember that being announced. I was like spaced out.
Yeah, can't imagine there could be anything in this trailer that would make you pay attention. Monster Hunter Wilds, sure, for the Monster Hunter girlies out there.
Monster Hunter's cool.
Monster Hunter seems cool. I'm not like opposed to it. I just never got into it, and it's just now there's like 80 games, so it's like, all right, well, I missed that boat.
Where's Sonic X Shadow
Oh,
Generations?
and coming up next, Sonic X Shadow
Yeah!
Generations. Tell a Sonic fan in your life, cool?
Yeah.
Sonic X Shadow Generations is coming out.
I know! The fucking pre-order pages aren't up yet. I'm trying to get Gerald Robotnik's journal that details Shadow's creation.
This is, honestly, it is one of the most amazing pre-order bonuses I've ever seen.
It's actually like the coolest. That's like
in-world recreation of his journal, which should have like a lot of new original lore because it wasn't explained at all in the actual games.
yes, it was. It was
Oh,
explained
really?
in Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, I do
Gerald
not remember.
Robotnik worked with the alien Black Doom to create a new creature who was a hedgehog for some reason. I don't remember if that was explained why it was a hedgehog.
Was it like modeled on Sonic? Or is it
I
just
don't
a
think so,
coincidence?
because it's like 50 years in the past.
Oh, right, okay. I don't remember the story of Shadow the Hedgehog very well, I'm sorry.
Well, maybe we'll have to fucking play
Maybe
it.
we'll
and
have to
then
play
maybe
some
you'll
Shadow the
learn.
Hedgehog.
Pissed
Hades, cancelled.
off. Fuck Hades. I only
Fuck
care
Hades.
about Shadow.
Shadow time! Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything to say about the game itself?
It looks cool. I don't know. They're
Alright,
like
sweet.
the Shadow stuff. They're like adapting new levels, so it looks like there'll be at least like a new full campaign.
That's neat.
Sonic Generations is just like one of the best Sonic games by like a lot. It's just really fucking fun. So
Huh. I haven't played it.
I don't know. I'm excited for it, and not just because of Gerald Robotnik's journal, but also because I get to play through like the cool Sonic modern boost gameplay. But I'll be going through like the fucking the ruins level from 06, and they showed like it looked like the Eggman base from Shadow. And I think like the canyon stuff from Heroes. I was like, okay, yeah.
I like this concept. I very, very rarely will say, oh, Mario should be doing something Sonic's doing. and I don't think that's unreasonable. But
It's very unreasonable because Mario would be cooler if it had lore and really serious, and there was fucking guys were dying, whatever. But
But-
he went Super Mario.
he does go Super Mario. That's like his whole thing.
Well, no, he is the Super Mario, but he doesn't turn yellow and float and shoot
That's
lasers out
true.
of his hands.
He needs to shoot more lasers. I would, though, like a Mario Generations game. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like, I guess you can kind of say Mario Maker was like this. And obviously Mario Maker, I think, is like one of the God's great gifts to mankind.
Mario Maker is better than Sonic.
I would say so, yes.
I will say that I will admit to that as a hardline Sonic fan.
But this idea of taking a bunch of like really classic Mario stages and remixing them so some of them are 2D and 3D and stuff and different gameplay styles, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I would love a Mario game like that. Alright, and then the final game of the show, can you remember what it is? A little trivia?
Oh, it was like Fantasy Zero or something.
Pretty close. Phantom Blade Zero.
Phantom Blade Zero. I think my brain got caught up with like Fantasy Star Online or something.
Yeah, because there's Phantasy Star Online 0, I think, too. So you're on the
thinking,
correct warpath here.
There's something happening there.
So this was the one. It's another kind of spooky Japanese aesthetics, samurai and stuff.
Yeah.
Souls-like.
That
seems fine.
Black Myth Wukong is showing me too.
Oh, it was not on this list.
Oh, well, I remember it got like a release date.
Yeah, what the hell? What? GameSpot. I remember that too.
Yeah.
I feel like there was other games too that they didn't talk about on
I
this
don't know,
list.
just like speaking of Souls likes. Maybe
Yeah,
there was.
yeah.
I don't know. There might
I
be like a
can't
Reddit
remember.
thread that actually has everything. You can double check.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Anyways, we were talking about it, and I made some snide remark of like, whoa, it's ancient Japan? That's crazy how they come up with this. But I think you're right that it's like, if they're all gonna do like a derivative style, that's one of the best ones.
They just, I don't know. I'm susceptible to Thing Japan. That shit looks cool. It looks way
Yeah.
cooler than like, what if you were in the apocalypse?
What if you
buildings
were
are
in
brown.
World War II?
The buildings are brown and gray.
What if you were in the Iraq War? Again.
Again, I was already in it.
Yeah, don't you remember? You had PTSD.
Oh man.
I'm trying to find a thread that's like the mega thread for Game Show to confirm that we've discussed everything. That was fun though. I liked going through the lineup and giving some kind of follow-up shots. There's like more shows coming up soon, right?
Yeah, there's some today. Tomorrow's like the Xbox showcase, which like I always watch just to see what no games they're announcing. Because like, oh yeah, that one time they announced Hi-Fi Rush, that was cool. But usually it's just like, and we here at Xbox are so excited to announce we've bought 400 more studios and we're making Gear 6.
All studios are making Gear 6, which is a looter shooter.
I don't know, it's like...
Unlock the Coltrane's legendary chainsaw.
I'm addicted to staring into the abyss with that stuff. And also, like, Xbox is kind of, like, high on the likelihood of just, like, embarrassing the celebrity crossover.
Oh, that's always fun.
I spend a lot of money on that, other than just, like, Summer Games Fest Raw itself, which, like, obviously Jeff is, like, very obsessed with celebrities.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know, overall, just, like, Summer Games Fest. Well, again, people are too hard on it. I don't know what they're expecting. Like, obviously, should it be better? Like, yeah, probably. But, like...
But I think we talked about, like,
We're, like
5 or 6 games that we were pretty positive on.
We're so many
And that's
years...
huge.
We're so many years deep into this and into, like, the Jeff Keighley industrial complex. Like, maybe I'm being doomer, but it's just, like, a better world isn't possible. This is what we get.
Yeah. Might as well make the best of it.
You live in Tornado Alley and you're mad when there's a weather event. Like, this is just what happens. And people will just see something and go like, oh, it looks like shit, and then you see what they're excited for and it's like only fighting games or something. It's like, why the fuck are you watching?
Yeah, what fighting... Like, the fact that we got Fatal Fury, new Fatal Fury thing, and Street Fighter 6 DLC, like, that's more than I thought there would be for fighting games. There was a new RTS, too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's JRPGs. Like, it could be so much worse still. It's bad, but it could be so much worse.
And it has been. There have been these showcases, like the Game Awards and shit, where I watch it and I see like 0 things I want to play.
Yeah. There's been times where it's like all FPSs. Like, almost literally all FPSs.
Especially after like last year was like one of the best years you could possibly have for video games. There was like so many good games that came out. The fact that there's just like good announcements for things this year and all, like, I don't know, my expectations are always so fucking low. I never get disappointed.
Yeah.
I've seen some bad shows, man.
I think it's like people, you know...
And it's not just from people
They
who are like,
see-
oh, no GTA 6. It's also from people who, like, when you ask them what they actually like, it's like only Killer 7.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are you still playing video games? Like, go watch a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
You just, like, this hobby peaked for you 20 years ago.
I mean, that's basically me. And I've come to accept that. Because what good does it do me to just be miserable about
Well,
it?
yeah, it's just like, why are
I'll
you
just
getting...
play indie games.
Like, yeah, not even like you
I'll play
can't care, but
roguelikes.
just like, why are you getting this worked up?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's just like,
Like, I'll
obvi-
complain,
you
but I'm
know-
not gonna be, like, upset to my core.
You know none of this is going to be for you. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I also like Killer 7, but I'm enough of a slop eater that sometimes when it's just like,
Oh, bro, no Killer 8?
Ghosts of Tsushima 2's coming out, I'm like, oh, I'll probably play that. That sounds tight. Like,
Yeah. You gotta make the best of things in life. Alright, I got a full list. There's actually a few things on here we didn't talk about. Black Myth Wukong.
yeah,
Looks cool.
that looks very cool.
Very
Very
the
cool.
monkey. This time Ancient China, not Ancient,
China,
Japan.
China good, China good.
China good, and very ripe for this sort of stuff. Like, there's a lot of really cool mythos and lore and stuff you could mix into the pot. See, this is what I think makes a good setting, is like the space to just look through a book of like ancient Chinese myths and be like, oh, we can adapt this, we can put a spin on this. This is a cool like monster or whatever.
Yeah,
You can't really do that if your setting is just like, it's America, but zombies. Or it's a war. Like, there's no like kind of richness there. So yeah, ancient China, very ripe, very underexplored, I think. Very exciting. Where was it here? Oh, Mecha Break, some mecha PvP fighting game.
Yeah.
Those are very popular. I feel like all the people who play it are pretty committed to the Gundam franchise. So
Yeah,
having
it
like
seems
an
like
original
pretty-
IP is kind of interesting. Good luck.
Yeah, it seems like some sort of multiplayer thing, which I'm less interested in. I thought it was gonna be like some sort of Armored Core type deal. But I don't know what it is. They didn't really make it clear what the gameplay is supposed to be.
They made it clear that you unlock a lot of mecha concept art.
Yeah, it's very big on like mech.
Which,
Well, it didn't look. It just
which
looked like
some people-
customization.
yeah, maybe customization too. Yeah,
I think that was like the big selling
I
point,
see,
which
I
for
see.
the Gundam fans is a big deal for sure.
for sure. Yeah, like it could do well. It's just sort of tough because they're going up against the goodwill that Gundam has built up for these games, which have like a very active player base, and then just like the Gundam franchise as a whole, which has been going since the 70s. People love those characters. They love the designs. So it's like, oh, you're just trying to make a new one with like brand new stuff. Good luck.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I only played a little bit of it, but I want to get Armored Core 6 at some point and play through
It
it because I
looks
liked it a
super
lot.
cool.
It's super fun, so I'm open.
I was very impressed with the footage I saw of Armored Core 6. Because every once in a while, even though I'm like kind of on new AAA games, like most of them really don't interest me because I have very niche and nerdy tastes. But every once in a while, one just like completely visually blows me away. And I'm like, that actually looks so fucking badass. And Armored Core was one of those for sure. It's like a few other things here that I don't really remember what they were. But I don't think were in the other list. But there is one game that is more exciting than any other game we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
It's a third-person roguelike shooter. Roguelike, we love the genre.
Okay.
And the IP that they've landed for this is the most exciting IP announcement of the year by far.
Oh right, Killer Bean.
Killer Bean!
Oh my god, how could
They're
I forget
making
Killer
a
Bean?
Killer Bean game.
It looks like a fucking turd. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't look great.
I mean, it just looks super
Looks-
like physics-based.
Yeah, it looks very generic.
So it'll probably be like kind of fun, but definitely like, I guess that.
The thing is, like, it just... You're kind of fighting a losing battle, because Killer Bean is beloved. If you don't know, Killer Bean is, like, this passion project by the choreographer for The Matrix, who just wanted to make an animated movie that lives out all of his, like, choreography wet dreams. So it's just, like, insanely intense gunfights and kung fu fights and
Like weird
jumping through
racist
windows.
Asian character.
Don't worry
beings.
about that. Don't worry about the weird Asian racist
Chet
characters.
Bean.
But it's just like a overload visual bonanza of like all these action scenes, and it's pretty awesome. Like I love Killer Bean, but it's like trying to replicate that in a video game feels kind of inherently doomed, right? Because
Yeah.
you know, you as the player have to be cool and do all the stunts, and either they make it that it's just like push X to do an awesome cartwheel dive and shoot 80 guys at once, or they make that like really hard. And I think the correct answer is to make it really hard, but then it's like that's probably not going to be a success.
That only appeals to like very specific people. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't type thing. So I'm like curious. It's fascinating to me that they're making this now, like probably a decade after Killer Bean came out. But I'm not. I don't know. I guess I'm not like super optimistic. It's just kind of crazy that it exists at all. Is Killer Bean like widely known? I didn't hear about
It's
it at
like-
all until I
I
started
know
talking
it's
to you guys.
somewhat internet famous.
It feels like
I remember hearing about it like as it was coming out.
interesting.
Like before Killer Bean Forever came together.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it might also just be like a that's not surprising. We did like no fucking game.
Yeah, you were barely
We hit a
pinging
wall,
that guy.
and I just like kept picking up boons. Like maybe it'll let me replace my damage with a higher rarity one, and it did not want to give me that luck.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. But yeah, I think Killer Bean is like semi-famous, meme-famous.
It's like, I feel like I should see it referenced more often. Like, people should be posting Killer Bean gifs on Twitter and stuff. And at least I haven't seen really that much.
I'm spreading my killer bunghole.
Woo! Alright, this episode is an hour and a half long. And we lost 2 runs.
Yeah, we got a double run loss episode.
Alright.
Brutal.
But,
I didn't even get any fish. Oh man.
Oh, man.
I wonder if I just like totally missed them.
Games schedule. I want to see when the other shows are.
The Xbox one is tomorrow at like 1 or something.
The not E3 schedule. Okay, so Summer Game Fest, Day of the Devs, Future of Play Direct. Is that a Sony one?
No, I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's on, like, it was on already. I don't know what it is. Wholesome Direct.
Yeah.
They tried to put all of those in one spot. Good luck. That's today as well. Future Games Show. Is that something?
I've never really watched any of these. So
Xbox Game Showcase. Yeah, that's tomorrow at 1 p.m. Should watch that maybe.
yeah.
Ubisoft is Monday at noon. I don't know. I'm down to watch some more. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I'll probably watch them. I just like bitching.
Yeah,
I like
we can
seeing-
bitch about them after.
I like seeing what's coming out and going, why are they making this?
Why are they
It looks
making
like
that?
shit. And then every once in a while, I'm like, well, that's the coolest
But
thing ever. How'd they
that's
get
actually
funding?
Shadow has Doom powers?
He's got the Doom wings because he has Black Doom DNA. You don't know fucking anything about Sonic. Pisses me the fuck off.
Alright, goodbye.
Out of here.